back to News Talk. Coming your way here in just a few moments, why the debate over LGBT rights is firing up anew all across the South. And in our next half hour, advice for getting into better shape in time for swimsuit season. Right now, though, let's get back to our conversation with D.C. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson. Were you surprised by either your colleague Jack Evans' comments about Metro? Of course, Jack Evans is the long-serving councilman from Ward 2, chairman of the Finance and Revenue Committee. He's also now head of the Metro board. When he said, we're in such bad shape on Metro that we might have to close certain lines, or a line at one line for a period and another line then later for really long periods of time, and then a week later Metro comes out and says, no, that was just Jack being passionate about Metro, but we don't envision anything of that type. Did any of that exchange in public surprise you?
Well, I was there when he said it. It was a conference of leaders across the region, brought together by the Board of Trade and the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments. And he made the remark, and it was not shocking or surprising when he made the remark. Now, maybe it was the context in which he said it, which is that we need to do more, much more than we've been doing with regard to safety. And I don't know that Jack had really thought through what the reaction would be, but I think it was, in fact, very good that he put that idea out there and the people picked it up, because what it has done is it has elevated the discussion about safety. It has gotten people to talk about the fact that we really do need to do more. We can't just have these closures for a couple hours at night or for maybe a Saturday or Sunday. And
we'll never catch up.
Yes, we have to do much more.
If we do it when it's convenient.
Correct. We have to do much more, and it's going to actually cause more inconvenience, and that safety is very important. And that's where we have gone with the discussion in reaction to those remarks, and that's all good. I think it's appropriate, the response from Metro, from Mr. Wiedefeld, that maybe they won't get that drastic, that maybe there are other strategies that will get greater improved maintenance and greater reliability and safety without actually having to shut down a line for a month or two.
So from given what you know now, your expectation is we won't have the sort of thing that was sort of floated at that 40th anniversary of Metro event.
Yeah, now I'm not in the best position to say, but my sense is that we're going to see closures greater than what we have experienced over the last several years, but nothing as drastic as what has been talked about. But there is greater public acceptance and recognition of the need for Metro to do more to improve safety.
Particularly since they did shut down the entire subway system for 24 hours for emergencies, inspections, and where they found problems, remediation.
Yeah, which I thought was unfortunate but necessary. And unfortunate because it speaks to how bad we have allowed the system to slide over the last decade or two.
Since you and I last talked, the city got a big win on the issue of budget autonomy.
Yes.
A maybe jargony sort of term that basically means the city raises its own funds for the most part. If there's a fight at the federal level between this or a future president and Congress and the government shuts down, as it has in the past, the city can go on doing what it does because you're not a federal agency. You shouldn't be treated as one. Is this the last word on this issue?
I don't think it's the end of it. In terms of the legal issue, it is largely the last word. There won't be an appeal. The importance of budget autonomy is not just simply about home rule and self-governance. I mean, that's important, but that's really not what budget autonomy is about. It's about saving a lot of money for the city because the way we do the budgeting now is costly. Our fiscal year is out of whack with the school year and with the rest of the region, and because of the shutdowns and the fact that we have to rely on federal appropriations, that actually hurts our bond rating on Wall Street. There are just a lot of different ways that the old way was costly to the city, and we will over time be able to achieve some savings and greater efficiency in the way we do budgeting. and the way we manage our fiscal year and so forth. But in terms of any immediate impact for citizens, I don't think they will see an immediate impact. In terms of what this means in terms of process, well, you know, right now every bill that the Council adopts is sent to Congress for a 30 or 60-day review. And that's what we're going to do with the budget. Same thing, nothing different. But it will not be that we pass a budget in the end of May and then maybe Congress will approve our budget in December or January, which has been the case. They have failed to pass our budget on time in 16 out of the last 20 years.
So not only do they not do their work in the budget area the way they should, they're not even doing the basically rubber stamp of your budget that the system envisions.
Correct.
Before we have about a minute left, there's a big push around the country for a $15 an hour minimum wage. Is this something that voters in the district will get to vote on in November?
I don't know, because it requires the process some folks have taken as an initiative which requires petition to get on the ballot. The mayor has talked about it, and some council members have been talking about it. I think, you know, what we did a couple years ago was a regional push with Montgomery and Prince George's counties, and I think that's the best way to go, that we lift the region up rather than just a district as an island within the region, which then does have some economic effect on business, which could mean a loss of jobs in the district.
Briefly, why was Bernie Sanders' name left off the ballot?
Well, there was a conflict between one law adopted by the council that allowed that people could pay a fee to the party, which would then allow them to get on the ballot by 7 p.m., I think it was, or the old law, which is that you filed with the Board of Elections directly by 5 p.m., and that was the issue, that there was a 2-hour gap, something like that. And I made the argument that it would have been embarrassing if we had, on a technicality, kept Bernie Sanders off the ballot.
Phil Mendelson is chairman of the D.C. Council. He's with us every month at this time, here on the first Thursday or Friday. Good to have you here this time.
Good.
Have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate your time as always. Up next here as we continue how corporate America is reacting to the anti-LGBT laws that are spreading throughout the South.